Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3763. Today's date is December 19, 2025. It's been almost like a night at exactly 9:52 p.m. Like basically, this thing now for me, one of the biggest challenge is the time management. Right now, I have so many stuff to do, so many things that I wanted to do, and I can able to do this thing. The only thing I need is time. And legitimately it's this thing na ki like, basically I just need more time, and literally I don't really get a time. Like sometimes I just don't really believe that where is time is actually went and things and that and okay, for me time management is somewhat something really essential. So and I'm kind of like a something struggling with the time management. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the problem. Okay, yeah. Okay, so what exactly happened first? So basically is this thing. Today I wake up at 7 a.m. Okay, yeah. Morning was very productive. Okay, like I just sit in front of my, like basically is this thing na ki usually when I usually wake up, I have so many stuff to do. Like first of all is that sometime I have to make the breakfast and things and that. Okay, yeah. Uh, then after that I have to be kind of like a read my book, and then I have to be kind of like a simply record my artifact. And usually for this particular process, it takes it kind of like a take almost like a 10 a.m. Yeah, legitimately 10 or 10:30 a.m. I try to be kind of like a simply make sure that those stuff should supposed to be happen, take like those stuff kind of like a take very less and less time, but it's kind of like a simply taking time. Okay, yeah. Even if I kind of like a wake up, I have kind of like a so many stuff that I have to do, like a work at home. Okay, like basically cutting the vegetables or things or that. I don't know, not vegetable, but kind of like a somebody the for the breakfast and things like that. Okay, yeah. Then I have to read my book, record my artifact. Okay, and then I kind of like a somebody started sit in front of my desk and started doing my work. Okay, yeah. Usually I start doing my work at almost like maybe 10:30. Okay, yeah. 10:30 to 12:30, 2 hour. I kind of like a doing my artifact. Okay, yeah. Then after that 12:30 I mop the floor. Then I kind of like simply had a dinner. Kind of like simply also do a bath. I don't know, yaar. Is this thing na ki like first of all, is this thing that there are a couple of things that I don't want to do. Okay, I don't want to kind of like mention my routine and things like that because I already mentioned. Okay, yeah. There is a couple of things that I don't want to kind of like spend time. Okay, yeah. And what are those stuff? Like I don't want to do any kind of like assembly work. Like basically it's this thing that key, like cutting the vegetables and kind of like mopping the floors and things and that. Like what exactly is this thing? What is exactly the ideal routine that I want? Like basically what I want is that soon as I wake up, I kind of like assembly just record my artifact. Okay, yeah. Like brush my teeth, kind of like a do number two, and then after that record my artifact, read my book. Okay, yeah. And kind of like somebody had a kind of like a probably breakfast, like someone kind of like a bring me breakfast, I will gonna do the breakfast. Okay, yeah. And then I kind of like sit in front of my desk and kind of like started doing my work. And I kind of like I just wanted to kind of like keep doing my work till almost like 1:30 p.m. Okay, and during this time, no, I don't want any kind of like some interruption or kind of like a disturbs and things. I don't want, like basically this thing actually happened. It's kind of like really fucking with me a lot. Okay, yeah, this interruption and this kind of like it's like, yeah, I just don't want that interruption when I'm bitterly focused, and when I kind of like doing my work, I just wanted to keep doing my work. I just don't want those kind of like people are kind of like my mother and kind of like everyone are kind of like telling me do this, do that, do that, do that. Just like it's so fucked up, but still I'm like, this is kind of like consequences happen when you are kind of like living with your parents and things like that. And I don't really have any kind of like options, so I just have to suffer in silence. Whatever. But I want to kind of like keep doing my work till 1:30, and then after 1:30 I just kind of like simply do my lunch. Okay, yeah, kind of like simply took a bath, and then after I also sit in front of my desk and keep doing my work till almost like a 6 p.m. Okay, yeah. And after the 6 p.m I wanted to work out, so I kind of like actually went to the kind of like a workout, kind of like a running for half an hour, play badminton, spend little bit time with my friends, not too much. Okay, yeah. Then came home, kind of like took a bath, and then after that, kind of like had a dinner and kind of like do my work and things like that. Okay, yeah. Like one of the biggest thing is that I just don't want any kind of like some interruption or things or that. Like I just wanted to kind of like simply live alone and kind of like doing my work, and someone kind of like bring me the breakfast and kind of like simply lunch and dinner. That's it. Yeah. I just don't want to kind of like I don't want to think about those, figure it out and stuff like that. Or even if like basically if someone doesn't really have it, or that is okay. Like if I kind of like went outside and kind of like had a dinner or things like that. Yeah, because this is na ki time is like, I don't know, for me is like that time management is so many things that not I just wanted to keep doing my stuff. Okay, like if I kind of like somebody, if I kind of like waste almost like 1 or 2 hour na, it just kind of like bother me a lot. Like at that time it didn't really bother me, but like after like when like that night it kind of like bother me. Like what if like I would spend this 2 hour in kind of like doing my work, then it would be kind of like really good for me. Yeah. But dude, yeah, like think about that. In the future you might have kind of like do a lot of stuff, so you have to kind of like learn those time management things. Yeah, I am doing it that now, dude. It's a like, what is actually time management? A time management is like that key, utilize your time for as much as you productive as you can, or as much kind of like add value in your life. Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of like simply making my time management as best as I could possibly. And whatever. Well, probably this thing, this is not just artifact episode. Like this is not artifact. I'm not gonna ask bunch of question today. Why? Because of that, I just don't want to kind of like a talk. I just kind of like simply like what is actually happened now. Okay, yeah, that key. I like one thing, good thing happened that key. Soon as I wake up in the morning, I don't have to make any kind of like a breakfast. That is really good thing happened today. Okay, yeah, I just kind of like sit in front of my kind of like somebody book and kind of like started reading, and then I record the artifact. Then I kind of like simply sit in front of my desk and kind of like started doing my work. Okay, that is kind of like a really good thing, because almost like till 12:30 I kind of like complete my entire Photoshop and kind of like design everything, which is kind of like a really good thing happened. It never really happened on time, but today it actually happened on time, which is really good. Okay, yeah. So I did it till kind of like a 12:30, and after the 12:30 I haven't really done anything at all. Like basically what is actually happened after the 12:30, I kind of like simply mop the floor. Okay, then I like basically this, there are so many kind of like a small things are interruption actually happened, and it kind of like so much bother me so much. Like it just like what is actually this thing now, when I am doing my work and someone disturb me, it's just like so, this is so wrong. It just wanted to kill that person. Literally like that. Like this disturbance happened now. It's like, and I cannot do anything at all. Just like, yeah, I'll just pause it out and things like that. Because what exactly happened now? If I kind of like, first of all, I'm kind of like doing my work. Like what exactly is this thing now? When I kind of like doing my work, I kind of like simply completely sink into my work. Like I, when I was doing my work, I was kind of like doing multiple things at the same time. What do you mean by multiple things at the same time? Okay, so I am kind of like a bit really habitual for kind of like a something is this thing that key while I was kind of like doing my Photoshop design, I also kind of like watch a movie or kind of like watch YouTube videos and things like that. I can able to do this thing. I am not giving you any advice or any kind of like something, but I can do this thing because of that. Ki I am kind of like really good at all those like things that I'm doing. I know all the process and things and that, and why I kind of like watch the YouTube videos while simultaneously doing it, that is because of that it kept me focused on kind of like somebody watching the movie simultaneously. I can do my Photoshop and things and that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, and basically sometimes the Photoshop really required my attention. I kind of like pause the video, pause that movie, and kind of like focus on that thing. But most of the kind of like assembly in the designing part kind of like assembly literally figure it out and things, and it I don't know, it's kind of like something sounds so wrong that like you wanted to kind of like focus on work and you are not focusing because you are kind of like assembly doing do two things at this once. So how, like I don't know how do I supposed to explain this thing. I'm kind of like it's literally habitual regarding about that. Like basically when I doing my work, I kind of like do kind of like these kind of like I watch the movie simultaneously, I can do my work. Okay, yeah. And yeah, I'm kind of like really good at that, because while I'm when I'm kind of like do this thing, I can be consistent, I can be more productive. I don't really get that much lazy, I don't really get that much sleep. I just completely focus on kind of like assembly. Like in the movie now, it's not kind of like a things that now you just have to complete focus on watching the movie, or you shouldn't supposed to be complete focus on kind of like doing your work. It's a kind of like a things that ki like it's a kind of like a complement each other. Like basically when I'm kind of like doing my work and watching a movie, both our work are kind of like a complement each other and things like that. So yeah. Whatever, if you are not kind of like assembly in this thing, do not follow this thing. Like basically I'm doing like I am like, let me tell you one thing now. Okay, yeah, there is a kind of like assembly a phrase or kind of like things that ki if you spend almost like a 10,000 hour of kind of like a things that you wanted to do, you will become really expert. And I kind of like spend that much 10,000 hour of kind of like doing my work and things like that. And that's why I'm 10,000 hour means how much? Like a 10,000 hour means like probably couple of year, 1-2 year. Okay, wait, 10,000 hour, that means 5 year at least. 10,000 418 16 days, that means almost like a 1.5 year. Yeah, 1.5 year. And I kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of like 1.5 year. Yeah, I spend more than that. Okay, yeah, almost like I'm doing it for 5 years. Whatever. So I am not gonna kind of like stretch this artifact even more further because I have a lot of stuff to do. And this is it. Thank you.